It's Venus's homecoming. Thursday, August 29th, the goddess of love and beauty is returning to her domicile in Libra. It is a celebration, bitches. Enjoy yourselves. Hello, my name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video I'm going to talk about the very beautiful astrological transit of Venus returning to her domicile in Libra, where she will be for 3 very romantic, uplifting weeks, August 29th through September 22nd. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. If you're watching this video on Instagram, I'm only going to post the first 5 minutes here. The full video will be available on my YouTube channel, Eliane Nicole. My YouTube channel is my name, Eliane Nicole, so please find me there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, please hit the notification button so you're notified every time I post a new video. Please like, please comment, please share, help me in the algorithm. If you're watching this on Instagram, please make sure that you are following astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole so that you can be updated every time I post a new astrology or tarot video. And also on Instagram, please like, please leave a comment, please share with your friends who are into astrology, and help me so that I'm in a position to continue to give these free astrological offerings, because I feel like everyone who wants access to astrological and tarot information should have it. But the best is always to schedule a one-on-one reading. That is my forte, that is my pleasure and my joy. And I think that's where you get the most out of astrology as well, working one-on-one with an astrologer. So I would love to read for you personally. I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. So definitely contact me for a reading. If you're watching on YouTube, my email is below in the notes. If you're watching on Instagram, you can go, again, follow astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, go to the profile bio, hit the contact button underneath, and it'll send you to an email to email me and get on the calendar. And now for my interpretation of Venus's homecoming into her sign of Libra, and I'm going to talk about some of the aspects she will be making while she is there. But as I record this video, it's actually August 27th, and so it's a couple of days before she enters Libra, and she's still in Virgo, where she's considered in her detriment. And Virgo is a hard sign for Venus to be in. That's what it means to be in her detriment. It's not the easiest place for her to exercise her Venusian principles. But as she is leaving, as I give this video on August 27th, she is forming a very harmonious trine with Uranus, the planet that loves to shake things up and give us little surprises and plot twists. And so this is a nice aspect for Venus in Virgo as she's wrapping up her stay right before she moves into Libra. And the trine to Uranus, Venus in Virgo, trine Uranus in Taurus, these are 2 earth signs. So this transit actually offers a pleasant surprise as Venus is leaving Virgo, where she's been for about 3 weeks that have not been the easiest weeks for her. But this is a tangible surprise because it's in an earth sign. So, you know, it can be a gift, it can be something to do with style or beauty or romance. And then on the 29th, or the 28th, so the 27th is the trine with Uranus. The 28th, she makes an opposition to Neptune. So this is a reminder right before she enters Libra that the fantasy is always better than the reality. And Venus has had some tough lessons in that respect. She's perhaps had on rose-colored glasses that she has to take off. There may be a situation or a person that she was idealizing or pedestalizing, and she's now having to deal with the reality of that. But that's okay, because now she's entering Libra Thursday, August 29th. And the first transit that she forms is a trine to Pluto, god of the underworld. But Pluto also has to do with power. And so this trine to Pluto, right as she steps into Libra, is a reminder of the power of love, and that love is indeed the most powerful force in the universe, unquestionably. And this is a reminder of the transformational power of love, and also of the transformational power of beautiful art in some cases, and the power of diplomacy, you know, in other cases. And so I love this opening transit as Venus first steps into Libra. That's on August 29th. Then on September 3rd, she immediately comes into contact with the nodes of fate. So this is a very karmic moment that is happening for Venus. She is dealing with karma from the past as she aligns herself with her dharma, with her purpose in life. And this is both beautiful, and it can be bittersweet, because on the one hand, she has to sacrifice something. There's something she has to let go of. But she's also aligning with her higher purpose and her new North Star and her new direction and her new start. So, you know, it's a double-sided coin, the double-edged sword of victory. Yeah. And so she might be dealing with some things from the past, but there's also this feeling of just, you know, trust in the higher power and faith, and this experience of divine love and divine intervention. And so I love this aspect in that way, but there are parts of it that can be a challenge, possibly. Different people will experience it differently depending on your own personal astrological coding, and that's why it's always good to get a reading. In general, this Venus transit in Libra is going to be very personal to Libras, and to people who have signs, you know, like for instance, the Pluto transit and the South Node transit. These are all happening in the early degrees of Libra. So people who have planets in the early degrees of Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, the air signs, will feel this very personally. And also people who have planets in the early degrees of the cardinal signs, like Cancer and Aries and Capricorn, will also experience these transits very personally. Otherwise, you might just be experiencing it more on a collective level, or seeing your friends and family experience it, or it could be in the art you're taking in, the books you're reading, the movies you're watching, the television you're watching, the music you're listening to, because Venus rules the arts. But she also rules women and sisters and daughters, and so, you know, she can be experienced on a myriad of levels. So those are the early transits that Venus has going on. And in America, you know, Kamala is very much Venus in our collective experience, and Black Moon Lilith, which brings me to the next aspect. Venus is aligning with Black Moon Lilith, bringing up the dark feminine, and that's on the 4th. And so this Black Moon Lilith energy is the wild woman energy in one respect. It's any aspect of the dark feminine. To the collective, oftentimes that represents Black women, because Black women are often the collective shadow, or even America's shadow. And so Kamala has been really embodying both the Venusian and the Black Moon Lilith energy. And Kamala's also a Libra, so this is going to be a very personal Venus transit for her. So if you want to listen to this video in terms of that, if you're someone who's following politics, that's very much what's going on for the collective of America. And because American politics affects the world, this has to do with the big collective. But there's a lot of women leadership taking over in all places of the world. And so Venus and Black Moon Lilith are really telling a story of that. There really is this continual rise of the divine feminine that's happening. We'll talk about Pluto a little bit later, but the old world is really crumbling. The patriarchy is really crumbling. And the rise of the divine feminine is very much the future. And so then the next day on the 5th, Venus will conjunct Juno, who is the wife goddess. And so this is wife energy, it's partnership energy, it's long-term commitment energy. And so Venus is stepping into this role. This is a great aspect for engagements, for proposals, for renewals of vows, for renewals of love within relationships. For single people, it can be meeting your person who you're going to marry. For people who have been dating, it could be the moment of the engagement or the proposal or the setting of the wedding date. And again, for people who are already married, it could just be a renewal of love, doubling down on your commitment. It's just a strong moment for marriage and the idea of marriage. But there are some sacrifices that need to be made also, because Juno, Black Moon, Lilith, the South Node, and Venus, they're all together. So another thing I'm seeing is a goddess party. I'm seeing all of these women coming together and to uplift the feminine principle. That's really happening because the Libra moon will be coming in too and hitting up this stellium of planets of goddess energy. And so it's like a goddess party in the sky. And for the individual woman, I'm getting a sense of a moment where we feel like we can express all sides of our femininity. Historically, I think that there's been a lot, again, going back to the patriarchy, where you're either, Mary the Virgin or Madonna the whore, or, there's these boxes that women are put in. You're this role or you're this role. But we're stepping into a place where women can express all sides of their femininity, the wife energy, the wild woman energy, the, mother energy, the daughter energy, the sister energy, the leader energy, the presidential energy, whatever, it's all there within us and we can express it all. We don't have to be categorized to just one facet of the feminine. And so that's what I really love about all of this goddess energy that's being ignited while Venus is in Libra. So then on September 14th, this could be very well one of the luckiest days of the year. Venus is forming a trine with Jupiter, the great benefic. So the two benefics forming a harmonious aspect is bringing a lot of gifts, a lot of blessings. This is an auspicious occasion. This is a great day to schedule something that you want to go really well. Or this is a day that even if you don't schedule it, some really great blessings and gifts will land in your lap, particularly if you have planets at these degrees of this trine. It's around the 20th degree, and this is really expansion in love, expansion of generosity and gratitude and blessings, magnification. I see purpose-driven art. I see, again, marriage proposals coming together with in love and romance. Creativity is flourishing. There's inspiration. There, this could be a time of peace treaties. This could be a match made in heaven. It can be an indulgent aspect, a lot of drinking and eating, big expenditures happening. On the 16th, Venus is opposing Chiron, the wounded healer. This brings up Venus's deepest wound. This is a tougher aspect for Venus. There's some healing that she still needs to do, and this day brings up that. It can be literally being sick. It can be like a physical wound or an emotional wound, a relational wound. Maybe there's somewhere where there needs to be forgiveness or an apology or an amends needs to be made. Maybe it's talking to a doctor or a therapist. It might be a health issue. That's on the 16th. On the 20th, Venus is in a yod with Uranus and Neptune. And this is the finger of God handing Venus a gift of some kind. But again, you have to recognize the blessing to receive it. And this is an important time to be in alignment with the divine, to be a clear channel, to be able to receive whatever the message is from God, whatever the gift is. And I may do a separate video on that because I don't want to go too much down the rabbit hole there because I've already been talking for 17 minutes. Finally, Venus squares Pluto on the way out on the 22nd. Now, by this time, Pluto has moved back into Capricorn. I'm going to be doing a whole video on Pluto and Capricorn. That deserves its own video. But I just want to say that I do find Venus's journey through Libra very interesting because she enters, her first aspect as she enters is a trine with Pluto, which is a very harmonious aspect, while Pluto is still in Aquarius at 0 degrees. And this is very much about the future and what Venus's future path is. And it's so empowering, and it's so just a surge of love and the power of love. But then she meets with Pluto again while he's in the last degree of Capricorn at 29. And so this is saying there's some unfinished business that Venus needs to take care of a darker nature, of a heavier nature. This can have to do with, there are so many things with Pluto and Capricorn. It's tying up business in the old world. It's a phase that's ending. It could have to do with darker topics, things that there is fear or anxiety or even grief around. Sometimes Pluto, Venus aspects can bring up violence against women, abuse of women, underworld darker topics can come up, abuses of power, power struggles around love or romance, power struggles around art or beauty. And so it's the darker side of Pluto, whereas, initially when Venus stepped into Libra, she was dealing with the best, the most empowering aspects and energy from Pluto. On the other side, as she leaves right before she steps into the murky waters of Scorpio, Venus has some dark stuff to deal with. And that's why I think it's so important to take the energy of August 29th, where she's trine Pluto. Take the energy of September 14th, where she's trine Jupiter, and really hold on to that energy, because it's going to carry you through all of my Venusian people out there. It's going to carry you through the darker waters of Scorpio that we're going to be dealing with. And I guess that's all I'm going to say on that for now. I'll do more videos in the future. This has really been a long video. I am very Venusian because I have 5 planets in Libra and an asteroid in Libra, and Mercury and Venus are the co-rulers of my chart. And so, of course, as Venus is coming home to Libra, I'm going to do a longer video. For those who have stayed till the end, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Definitely contact me for a one-on-one reading so we can look at where Venus and Libra is moving through your chart. And yeah, enjoy this transit. All of it is useful, even the more challenging aspects. It's all good. And remember, the most important message is that love is the most powerful force in the universe, hands down. It can transform any situation, even the most difficult seeming, complex seeming of situations in the world and in our personal lives. Thank you for joining me.